Let us look at the fundamental elements of GD&T or geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. So we have understood that this is very important when it comes to assemblies. Now let us have a look at one of the assemblies and try to understand what are the features that have to be taken into consideration for assembling the components well so that we have less rejections and cost will be saved. This is the assembly of knuckle joint. So let us try to understand the important features which will lead to a fine or successful assembly of this. The first thing that we need to consider is the size of this hole or these holes. Okay, then only this part will go inside. That is the first most important feature for giving our tolerances is size. Okay, which is also met using the traditional dimensioning method. That is, we can say that this size of this hole should be within certain amount or it can cross certain amount. So this is the tolerance that is already met using the traditional dimensioning, which also continues to hold importance in geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. Then what about the location of this? That is, this has to go exactly into this, but if this hole, okay, is somewhere moved to this side and then again this pin has to fit inside this. So the location also plays an important role, and if that is not being met at the manufacturing level itself, then this assembly will not be successful. And if we see in the traditional method, only the size is being given and the location of this hole, keeping in mind the assembly, is not being taken into consideration. But while designing this component using GD&T, we are also going to keep in mind how it is going to be assembled, and based on that we will be giving the tolerances. So the second important thing is the location. Okay, and also the orientation. So what I mean by orientation is, let's say this hole is not inclined properly. That is, this has to exactly go inside this, but if this is tapered or this is cross, that is the orientation is not proper, then also this assembly will not take place. Okay, so these all things have to be kept in mind. Let us first see how this part is going to be assembled. So first the stepper pin will come out and then these parts will be going out. So this is how it has to be assembled. Here we see that the cylindricity of the pin and the roundness of the hole also affect the assembly. So form tolerances also should be taken into account. Here are the fundamental elements of GD&T. The first one is the size. Next we have location. That is, where are these holes or where are the meeting parts present with respect to the reference. Then we have the orientation. That is, they have to be properly oriented with respect to the part. That is, features should be oriented. And then we have form. Form refers to surface roughness or the flatness and straightness that is achieved only through machining. So these form, or what we can say is the profile, etc., has to be achieved exactly according to the requirement so that they made properly with other parts in the assembly. So these are the fundamental elements of GD&T which we have to take into consideration while designing a part.